Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive. And this one, we're going to be checking out Persuasion Engineering by Richard Bandler and Jean Laval.
Yeah.
It's all about like sales and business and language and behavior and really like how to engineer persuasion.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into some of the core concepts and techniques from this book. And I think you'll like it because it's written in this really conversational, anecdote-rich style. So it's like you're just sitting down with Bandler and he's just like telling you these crazy stories from his experience. So
one of the anecdotes that grabbed my attention was how he bought 4 cars in a day.
Oh, yeah.
And he adapted his approach to each salesperson.
4 cars in one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just really highlights how you need to understand the other person and tailor your approach to their needs.
Yeah, it's not about like forcing something on them or like, it's about really like understanding what they want and like leading them to a decision that's like good for them.
Yeah. It's more like finding common ground.
Right.
And leading them towards a decision that benefits you both.
And he talks about the selling process as like a dance.
It is like a dance.
Oh, yeah.
There's pacing and leading.
So you got to like find that shared rhythm.
Pacing is about building rapport.
Right.
By mirroring the customer's verbal and nonverbal cues. Think body language, tone of voice, even their breathing rate.
It's crazy all the things that go into this.
There's a story where a salesperson unintentionally starts mirroring a customer's excitement about their house.
Oh, really?
And they end up making the sale much quicker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we put all this into practice?
Well, the book dives deep into nonverbal communication.
Okay.
It teaches you how to read body language.
Okay.
You know, decode those subtle signals that people are sending. And even understand eye movements.
Wait, you can tell what someone's thinking by looking at their eyes?
To an extent, yes.
But
you can understand a person's representational system. Okay. Whether they're primarily visual, auditory, or kinesthetic.
Okay.
And you can often determine this by observing their eye movements.
Wow. So, like, if someone's looking up and to the right, they're
visualizing something.
Visualizing something. Okay.
And if they're looking down and to the left, they might be accessing their feelings.
Wow. That's incredible.
So you can kind of get a glimpse into how they think.
Yeah, like a sneak peek behind the curtain.
And once you understand their internal map, you can tailor your communication to resonate with them on a much deeper level.
Okay, so that makes sense, but it also sounds kind of complicated.
Yeah.
Are there any, like, simple techniques we can use?
One of the most powerful techniques is anchoring.
Anchoring.
It's about linking a desired state, like excitement or confidence, to a specific touch word or gesture.
Okay, so you're saying, like, if I want to feel more confident, I can create, like, a physical or verbal trigger.
Exactly.
That'll bring back those feelings of confidence.
Exactly. And there's this example in the book where Bandler's selling a car. And he doesn't just talk about the features. He has the customer touch the soft leather seats.
Right.
Smell that new car scent.
Right.
And imagine themselves cruising down the highway.
Oh, wow.
So he's anchoring those feelings to the experience.
Yeah, so it's like creating a mental shortcut to those good feelings.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. So we've got pacing, leading, anchoring. But this book also talks about mental mapping.
Right.
So what is that?
Mental mapping is about understanding how people organize information in their minds.
Okay.
Everyone has their own unique internal map, their own way of processing the world.
It's like a blueprint for their brain.
It is.
Okay.
And if you can understand that, you can gain insight into their decision-making. There's a story about salespeople at Xerox who were trained to listen for clues.
Oh, really?
About how their customers organized their thoughts.
Okay.
Whether they focused on details or big picture ideas or emotions.
Oh, so it's like not just listening to the words.
Right. Like reading between the lines.
Yeah.
And by tailoring their presentation, they saw a huge increase in sales.
So you're like speaking their language.
Exactly.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we identify someone's mental map?
Pay attention to their language.
Okay.
Do they use a lot of visual words like see, look, and imagine? Or are they more auditory, using hear, sound?
Right.
Or maybe they're more kinesthetic, feel, touch.
Okay.
It's like learning their code.
Yeah.
And once you crack it, you can communicate on a whole new level.
Wow.
And once you have a grasp of mental mapping, the next step is precision elicitation. But let's save that for next time.
Okay, cool. Can't wait.
All right.
So last time we were talking about precision elicitation.
Yes.
And it sounds like it's about getting the information you need.
Exactly. It's about asking those questions that really help you uncover a person's motivations, understand their decision-making process.
So it's not just like asking any old question.
No.
It's about like being strategic.
Yeah, strategic questions that get to the core of what matters to that person.
And I know Bandler talks about embedded commands
Yeah.
and presuppositions in this book.
He does.
I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah, there's subtle linguistic patterns.
So, like, can you give us an example?
Yeah, so imagine you're selling a phone.
Okay.
Instead of saying, do you want to buy this phone?
Right.
You could say, as you experience the incredible features of this phone, you'll notice how easily it fits into your life.
Oh.
So you're subtly nudging them towards a decision.
Yeah, it's like you're planting a seed.
Yeah.
That's going to, like, grow on its own.
Exactly. And there's a ton of examples in the book about how to use language
to
kind of gently steer the conversation.
Okay, so we've got pacing, leading, anchoring, mental mapping, and precision elicitation. But what about objections?
Yes, objections. Those are...
Yeah, like what do you do?
Actually, opportunities.
Opportunities. How?
It's a chance for you to understand their concerns
Okay.
and address them in a way that builds trust.
So, like, when someone has an objection, you don't just shut them down.
No.
You actually, like...
You want to listen to them.
Yeah.
Understand where they're coming from.
Right. Because an objection is just, like, the surface.
It's a sign that they need more information or reassurance. So by asking clarifying questions, you can uncover the real issue.
Okay, but what about when an objection is about something you can't change?
Like the price.
Yeah, like the price. What do you do then?
Reframing. Shifting the perspective.
Okay.
So let's say you're selling a vacuum and the customer says it's too expensive.
Right.
Instead of negotiating right away.
Right.
You might say, I understand price is a consideration, but let's think about the long-term value. This vacuum is designed to last for years, and it'll save you time and effort.
So you're like shifting the focus to the long term.
Exactly.
Instead of that initial sticker shock.
Yeah, you're highlighting the benefit.
So we've covered a lot: pacing, leading, anchoring, mental map, precision elicitation, and reframing objections. Quite a bit. But there's also this idea of holographic dynamics.
Oh, yes. One of the most fascinating concepts in the book.
So what is that?
It's about creating a complete sensory experience.
Okay.
Engaging all the senses, sight, sound, touch, even smell and taste.
Oh, wow.
To create an immersive, persuasive experience.
So you're creating like a world
that
the person wants to step into.
Exactly. Like if you're selling real estate.
Okay.
Instead of just listing the features, you paint a picture. Describe the feeling of sunlight. The smell of coffee. The sound of laughter.
Wow.
You're engaging their imagination and emotions.
It's like you're building a dream and then showing them how to unlock it.
And that leads us to the final concept.
Okay.
Precision Persuasion Engineering.
Precision Persuasion Engineering.
Precision Persuasion Engineering.
Precision Persuasion Engineering.
So what is it? Well, it's about recognizing that mastering these techniques is a journey.
Right.
It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
It's about honing your skills.
Yeah.
Experimenting, figuring out what works for you.
So you're always kind of like learning and growing.
Exactly. It's about developing a sense of awareness.
Right.
And adjusting your communication style.
Yeah. You know, going through this book has made me realize, like, there's so much going on.
There is.
Beneath the surface.
Under the surface.
Yeah.
We're constantly influencing each other.
Yeah. And now I'm starting to see those little things. Like the eye movements.
Yeah.
The words people use as, like, clues.
They are clues.
Yeah.
And that awareness is powerful.
Yeah, but I think it's important to use these techniques ethically.
It is.
You know, we can't just go around manipulating people.
No. It's not about coercion or trickery.
Right.
It's about building genuine connections.
Right.
Finding win-win situations.
So it's about making the world a better place.
Absolutely.
Not just getting ahead.
Yeah, finding that balance between achieving your goals and helping others.
And this book, it's not just like a one-time lesson.
Yeah.
It's like an ongoing journey of self-discovery.
It is. It's about practicing, observing, refining your approach.
Like any skill, the more you do it,
the better you get at it.
the better you get.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn.
So for me, the big takeaway is that we all have the potential to be persuasive.
We do.
It's just about understanding the tools and using them ethically.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this deep dive has given you a taste of those tools.
A little taste.
And made you curious.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge?
What will you create?
How will you use it to achieve your goals?
Yeah.
Build relationships.
Make a difference.
And make a positive impact on the world. That's something to think about. So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the fascinating world of persuasion engineering.
Absolutely.